This video is brought to you by TubeBuddy. Stick around to the end of the video to learn more about it, as well as a special offer they're making available through my channel. Gamers, I know why you're here. I get it. It's a lot to take in. It's confusing, it's upsetting, it's unsettling. I wish I had the answers, but sadly, I don't. The truth is, I don't know why the fuck they cast Chris Pratt as Mario, okay? I don't know. I don't think anyone on the planet knows. All I know is that the ghost of Bob Hoskins is looking down on us and he is laughing. And he's like, see? I wasn't such a bad Mario after all, was I? No, Bob, you weren't. We realize that now. Did you see that tweet from back in May 2020, by the way, when someone predicted that Chris Pratt would be cast as Mario? Imagine being able to predict the future one time, and that's the thing you use it on. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this week was all about the Big N as they held one of their biggest directs yet, reminding everyone how Nintendo manages to get away with treating its fans with utter disregard and contempt. They make really good video games. The show opened with a reveal of Monster Hunter Sunbreak, a meaty paid expansion to Monster Hunter Rise due out mid-next year. The trailer didn't give away too much, but there's no such thing as a bad Monster Hunter game, at least not lately, so this will almost certainly be great as well. If you're wondering who the final Smash character is, well, keep wondering because Nintendo informed us that Sakurai himself will be unveiling the final fighter on October 5th. That is going to be a bittersweet reveal. To cheer you up, Nintendo also announced an Animal Crossing Direct coming sometime in October to discuss a whole bunch of free content arriving for Animal Crossing. Nice. A surprise reveal from Square Enix titled Voice of Cards looked okay until the very end when they announced that the game was from absolute genius and high heels aficionado Yoko Taro of Nier Automata fame. The game is a narrative-led RPG where everything is represented by a card. If it looks a little weird, yes, that's certainly Yoko Taro. And the good news is that there's actually a demo available right this second, so you can check it out for yourself. Even better, the game is coming very soon, October 24th in fact, and it won't be a Switch exclusive. You know that KOTOR remake that just got announced? Well, that probably isn't coming to the Switch, but the original KOTOR is arriving November 11th. It's a touched up version, so it's not quite the original, and I think this would be the perfect excuse to get a refresh before the shiny newer version arrives in a few years' time. We didn't get a new Mario Kart announcement, but we did get this.
Start your engines and get set for a new racing experience. Race as familiar Final Fantasy characters like Chocobo and Gilgamesh to be the first across the finish line.
This is Chocobo GP. It's, well, you don't really need me to describe what it is. It's Final Fantasy Kart with Vivi, and I'm okay with that. It's out sometime next year. A very surprising announcement for Dying Light 2 was in there. Now, they did make clear that this would be a cloud-streamed version of the game, so you're not actually playing it on your local hardware, you're streaming it similar to something like xCloud or GeForce Now or... what's that other one called? Oh, that's right, Stadia. That'll be out next year on February 4th, but this year Dying Light 1 is coming to Switch on October 19th, and that won't be cloud streamed, so this is your Switch putting in the work there. Gonna be very interesting to see how that one runs. Don't worry, we're working our way to the good stuff. We got more information about Tactics RPG Project Triangle Strategy, which was a really goofy project name, so thankfully they changed it to Triangle Strategy. They really dug deep on that one. We've got plenty of gameplay in the trailer as well as a release date, March 4th next year. Metroid Dread. I'll admit that I've not been keeping close tabs on this one up to this point, but damn if that trailer didn't look super impressive. You can tell that Nintendo are going all out on this one. Fitting, given how long Metroid fans have had to wait for a new game. Not long now either, since Dread is out in just under 2 weeks' time. Splatoon 3 was revealed as well in a lengthy and very impressive trailer that showed off both the single-player and multiplayer sides of the game. It's called Return of the Mammalians, and it tells the story of the return of mammals, since apparently there's no mammals in the Splatoon universe. They're all just squid people, I guess. No release date for this one yet, but we can surely expect it sometime next year as well. Getting to the business end now, Nintendo Switch Online is getting a very juicy and borderline irresistible update. The ability to play both Nintendo 64 and Sega Genesis games. I'm talking classics like Mario 64 and Star Fox and Ocarina of Time and Winback? Who the hell put that in there? Anyway, the ability to play these games will come as part of a new, more expensive membership tier that Nintendo will offer for purchase. And you know what else they're offering for purchase? The old Nintendo 64 and Sega Genesis controllers. Now, I'm sorry, Nintendo, but as someone who purchased like 30 Nintendo 64 controllers back in the day because the center analog stick would get so floppy that a stiff breeze would send it jiggling, no, I am not buying that controller ever again. Kirby and the Forgotten Land was revealed. It looks awesome. It looks like the sort of classically inspired 3D platformer that's hard to mess up, unless it's Bella and Wonderworld, of course, with all the charm of Kirby jumping and floating and inhaling his foes. Not much to not love here. This will be out mid-next year. And finally, after endless hand-wringing and speculation, we finally got to see Bayonetta 3 in action. The game exists, and it looks awesome. The reveal no doubt comes as a big relief to the team making the game, as they were getting visibly pissed off with everyone wondering aloud, what the hell's up with Bayonetta 3? With the gameplay out there in the wild, everyone can shut up about that now and get back to talking about how excited they are. No specific date for this one yet, but it is confirmed for sometime in 2022. It wasn't all Nintendo news this week, plenty of other stuff as well. For example, we got an update on Perfect Dark. You might remember that Microsoft handed the project to a newly formed studio called The Initiative. These guys unironically referred to themselves as a quadruple A studio. That was quadruple cringe back then, but even more so now this week, since it was announced that Crystal Dynamics are being brought in to co-create Perfect Dark with The Initiative. How could you be a quadruple A studio and not be making games on your own? Ridiculous. Furthermore, why are Crystal Dynamics working on this when they could be making other cool shit like the Legacy of Kain remake? How many times do I need to ask for this? I'm not going to stop, by the way. This keeps going until I get my way. The news was met with lots of confused looks since, yeah, this partnership is really odd. Far too early to make any predictions about how Perfect Dark is going to turn out, but hopefully it'll be good, since they're certainly not lacking for talented and experienced developers at this point. Being a Titanfall fan is never easy, and it was certainly a roller coaster of emotions this week when Respawn seemed to shut down any hope of a new Titanfall game, only to then dangle hope of a new Titanfall game, or something. During a live stream, community director Jason Garza said, quote, "Don't get your hopes up, man. I've said this before. We don't have anything in the works. There's nothing there. We've got too many other games in the works right now," end quote. That's pretty definitive. Not much wiggle room there. Enter Respawn's official Twitter account, who tweeted the following day, quote, "Contrary to what some folks are reporting, Titanfall is the very core of our DNA. Who knows what the future holds, ... end quote. It's like, dude, you really just threw your man under the bus right there. He works for Respawn and he said this? It wasn't just reported by rumor mongers. Anyway, let's hope that Respawn are doing something meaningful in this space and it's not just like another Apex character whose uncle worked at a factory that made components for Titans or some shit like that. The Apple Epic case has wrapped up its first round with both sides suffering some body blows, but Epic definitely coming out much worse for wear. To add further insult to injunction, Apple has decreed that Fortnite shall remain blacklisted from the App Store until such time as all legal appeals have been exhausted, a process that could take up to 5 years and cost Epic hundreds of millions of dollars in opportunity cost. You know what they say? Apple Pay. Here's a very unexpected development. Turns out that Quantic Dream, makers of those cinematic decision-based games like Detroit Become Human, turns out those guys are probably making a Star Wars game. It's a rumor that was first revealed by French YouTuber Gotos? Man, I need to learn some French. Anyway, later, DualShock's Todd Henderson said that they had heard the same thing. Kotaku also weighed in on this, saying that they too have heard of this project, and it's apparently an action game of sorts, a big departure from Quantic Dream's typical point-and-click gunplay. This news comes as we continue to get Star Wars games from EA, Ubisoft are making their own Star Wars title, and a Kotor remake is in the works under a different publisher altogether. The dark days of EA's monopolistic grip on the Star Wars franchise is over, so hopefully we get some good games to make up for the absolute tragedy that was the new movie trilogy. Another week, another chapter in Blizzard's painful demise. This week, the Overwatch team tried to build some hype for Overwatch 2 by revealing a reworked Bastion, and guess what? He's got a new hat! I'm still waiting to see any evidence at all that this sequel is anything more than a content update that other games would push out for free. It is spectacular to watch the degree to which Blizzard have bungled the live game management of one of the most successful new IP launches in history. Overshadowing this reveal was the news that the current lead of the Overwatch franchise, Chaco Sonny, he's leaving Blizzard. He was running the show after Blizzard luminary Jeff Kaplan dipped earlier this year. no doubt currently on gardening leave before announcing his next steps. From the looks of this, Sunny's exit is unrelated to any of the turmoil currently engulfing Blizzard, but this is still the second leader of the Overwatch franchise to leave in as many months, while development seems stuck in the mud and general enthusiasm for the sequel is sorely lacking. This is not what Overwatch or Blizzard needs right now. Sensing Blizzard's disappointment, the US Securities and Exchange Commission took pity on Blizzard and decided to give them some presents. Subpoenas. The SEC is looking at how Bobby Kotick and his executive team handled the sexual harassment allegations leveled against the embattled publisher. They're asking for personal documents including email correspondence, so this is some serious shit. Poor Bobby better hire himself a good lawyer, and good lawyers are expensive. Good thing he made $150 million last year. So besides all the Nintendo stuff, what got announced or delayed this week? Well, first up, Chorus got a release date, December 3rd, arriving on all platforms except for the Switch. It's a third-person arcade flight sim thing. You take control of a very schmick-looking spaceship and fly around and shoot stuff. I like the look of this a lot actually, and if I can find time and will enough to pull myself away from Endwalker, I'll definitely be trying to review this one. Gloomhaven, the popular board game, got a video game adaptation, and that's been in early access since 2019. It's just announced it's leaving early access on October 20th, exclusive to Steam. The reviews right now are overwhelmingly positive, so that is a good sign of things to come. Potioncraft was one of the darlings of the previous Steam Next Fest. You play as an old-timey alchemist, mixing potions and random stuff. People love the demo. Last week the game got announced that it was now available in early access. Early reviews are very positive. They Always Run is another indie I've been keeping tabs on. It's a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up with some crisp visuals and some top-tier combat animations. This one is looking very promising, and it just announced a release date of October 20th, exclusive to PC. And finally, the Disney Classic Games Collection got announced, featuring The Jungle Book, Aladdin, and The Lion King. These are some of the greatest platformers ever made. This shit was totally my jam in my childhood. None of us could ever finish these games, but we all played those first 2 or 3 levels endlessly. This bundle includes some really nice quality of life features, like the ability to rewind time if you screw up, or a just watch mode, so you can relive all the joy and none of the suffering. No date for this one yet, but it's coming to all console platforms before the end of the year. So what came out last week? Well, Kena Bridge of Spirits hit PS4, PS5, and PC. I did a review and absolutely loved it. Link to that in the description below. A bunch of other outlets managed to wrangle a review code out of the developer as well, and pretty much everyone else loved it too. The game is sitting at an 81 on Metacritic, IGN scored an 80, and I think their reviewer really nailed it with this line, quote, "With its elegantly simple combat and beautiful world, Kena Bridge of Spirits harkens back to the days of the Nintendo 64 GameCube era Zeldas, Okami, and Star Fox Adventures, while also adding modern sensibilities and a distinct personal touch." Diablo 2 Resurrected hit all platforms last week as well, and it too is sitting pretty at 83 on Metacritic. Unsurprising, given that it's Diablo 2, an indisputable masterpiece, only now it looks really nice and you can play it on consoles. Sable arrived on Xbox and PC as well. When I reviewed this one, it really reminded me of Death Stranding for a lot of reasons, but in large part because I knew it wouldn't be for everyone. Sure enough, reviews on this are very mixed. It's sitting at 66 on Metacritic, though Steam reviews are much better at 83%. I had some technical issues in my playthrough, but nothing major. A lot of people, though, are having serious technical issues, particularly on Xbox consoles, so as much as I love this game, and I absolutely recommend it, it might be wise to wait for a few performance patches to roll through. Shame, because this is an absolutely amazing game and truly one of my favorites of the year. Speaking of Death Stranding, the director's cut hit the PS5 this week. It's more Death Stranding, but with a better frame rate, resolution, and some new stuff added in. At the very least, the new edition gives people the chance to finally realize that they were wrong about Death Stranding, and it is in fact a masterpiece, and was a masterpiece all along. Exhibit A, Polygon. I'm always up for this sort of redemption arc, and the more people that can be brought into the fold, the better. Now, where did I put my monster energy? That's better. So what's coming out this week? Hey Zeus. There's a lot of stuff. Today alone is massive. Ghost Runner gets a next-gen update for the PS5 and Xbox Series versions of the game. Cute co-op mail delivery game Kiwi gets a release date for the PS4 and PS5. And Neo The World Ends With You arrives on the Epic Games Store. That weird turn-based shooter that absolutely no one is talking about right now, Lenmus Gate, That arrives today as well for Xbox and PC. You can grab that on Game Pass. New World. Jeff Bezos' first pass at the simulation he'll eventually plug us into so we can harvest our bodies to power his space colonies. That arrives today on PC. It's been one hell of a journey for the MMORPG upstart, pushing uphill against all the challenges that come with trying to make a game in what is an increasingly niche market. After multiple delays in public tests, the most recent round of beta testing seems to have struck a chord, getting positive feedback all round. MMO launches almost never go well, and this one probably won't be any different, but hopefully the game finds the audience it needs to get past these awkward first steps. People have been crying out for a new MMO for a long time now, so it'll be nice if this one delivers for them. Best of luck, Jeff. And wrapping up today, the greatest game ever made is getting an expansion. Outer Wilds, Echoes of the Eye arrives on all platforms bar the Switch. I don't know anything about this. I don't want to know anything about it. You shouldn't know anything about it either. You should just buy it and play it, okay? Stop playing FIFA and, I don't know, Genshin Impact. Stop all that. Go play Outer Wilds, okay? That's my rant over. There's more on the way this week. Insurgency Sandstorm has done well for itself on PC, and it arrives on PlayStation and Xbox on the 29th. The Eternal Cylinder is a really weird looking open world game that kind of reminds me a lot of Spore. That arrives on the 30th. Darksiders 3 hits the Switch on the 30th. Not as beloved as the first two games, but still a solid experience. Konami's Pro Evolution Soccer has evolved into free-to-play eFootball, and it arrives on all platforms bar the Switch on the 30th. This is essentially a public test of the new game, as Konami have made clear that critical game modes and mechanics will be absent at launch, but they'll still happily take your cash if you want to start collecting players through their gacha cash shop. Konami and gambling. Name a more iconic duo. Oh, what's that you say? EA? Yes, you're absolutely right, and timely, because on October 1st, there's a new FIFA game coming to all platforms, and if you think I'm going to devote any more than 10 seconds of airtime to Andy Wilson's annual Scamorama, you got another thing coming. Two final things to round out the week. Half-Life inspired indie shooter Industria arrives on PC on the 30th. I played the demo and very much enjoyed it. And finally, Hot Wheels Unleashed. I had no intention of playing this, let alone reviewing it. I did both. My review is out tomorrow. Spoiler though, I love this. It's super cool. And I'm going to talk more about it tomorrow, but it's very good. And you can check other reviews in the meantime. But Hot Wheels game? Good game. Put this on your radar.
One rat must make a stand. A warrior. A hero. A king.
This is Tales of Iron, and it's already out, but I feel like I did the developers kind of dirty on this one. I'm always on the hunt for interesting looking indie titles, and for whatever reason, this one just completely slipped under my radar. A journo mate was talking to me and he's like, oh, I'm reviewing Tales of Iron, and I'm like, oh, Tales of Arise, yeah, that looks great. No. Tales of Iron is from developer Oddbug Studios. It's their second game. Their first was a PSVR title. This one is a 2D side-scroller with what they describe as punishingly brutal combat. You play as a mouse and you fight evil toads, and the art looks amazing, and the reviews for this one are all through the roof. I've definitely seen plenty of buzz about this on Twitter and elsewhere. Many people I follow are referring to this as one of their potential games of the year. I feel bad that I missed this one, so I'm making it up to Oddbug here by giving it a shout out. It's a small team that obviously made something really great, so if you're keen to check it out, I'll leave a link to their Steam page below. Sort of free stuff time now, and we're in an awkward spot in the month because PlayStation are just about to reveal their PS Plus games, and Xbox are just about to reveal their monthly Games with Gold and Game Pass refreshes, but they haven't done those things yet. We can certainly expect to hear word on that in the next day or two, so I'll be sure to give you a full update next week. In the meantime, don't forget to add the current crop of games to your PlayStation or Xbox libraries this week, because soon they'll be gone. One quick, sort of free thing to take note of is that the Halo Infinite multiplayer test happened last week for anyone who signed up, and this coming weekend it's available to anyone on Xbox and hopefully anyone on PC as well. Microsoft says they're still working out that PC part. Long story short, if you have an Xbox or a PC, you can probably play Halo Infinite this weekend for free, and you should, because I spent all weekend playing it and it's fucking cool. Super impressed. Looking to do some coverage on that next week after I spent some time with Big Team Battle. Outside of that, all we've got to talk about is Epic, and there's not even that much there. Right now, you can get your hands on The Escapists again, and come October 1st, you'll be able to grab Grand Strategy Classic Europa Universalis 4, a game with over $500 in DLC available, and no, I'm not joking, look it up. Time for our feel-good story of the week, and guys, I want to make clear that this section is not supposed to be devoted to roasting stuff that Razer makes, okay? I mean, we did that last week with their weird gamer finger condom thing. We made some jokes, we had a good laugh. I was ready to move on, but no. Razer forced my hand. Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in. Introducing Gamer Gum. Do you suck at games? Well, there's an explanation for that. It's because you're sucking, not chewing. Luckily, Razer and their partners over at 5Gum have got you sorted. Their new gum was revealed this week, and it is an actual product that actually exists. I really researched this to make sure it wasn't a parody, but no, it's real. It has a website and everything. See this guy right here? This guy was just a normal human before he started chewing the gamer gum. Now look at him. Look at those eyes. Those are the eyes that insta-lock mid and go either 15 and 0 or 0 and 15. The gum is called Respawn, no connection to the gaming studio. We'll see what EA's lawyers have to say about that. And it makes some bold claims, quote, "Elevate your play with a gum to maintain mental focus and reaction time. This unique gum combines green tea extract and B vitamins with the invigorating and long-lasting flavors of 5Gum." Holy shit, did he just say green tea extract? I mean, I was skeptical at first, but now I'm on board. I don't know about you guys, but when I think high performance, the first substance I think about is tea. If you're still skeptical, there is an FAQ, and to prove that this isn't all just marketing bullshit, because obviously it's not, Razer provided a link to a study that proves the efficacy of their gamer gum. The study is titled "A Systematic Review and Meta-Analysis of the Effects of Mastication on Sustained Attention in Healthy Adults." You heard that, boys and girls? If you want to keep your KD nice and high, don't forget to masticate. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the week in video games. I love that you guys keep coming back each and every week. It means a lot to me. You know what else means a lot to me? Hitting that like button. Let's get this video to 300,000 likes. Okay, previous record was like 20,000 or something, but you gotta set high goals. I have my Hot Wheels review coming out tomorrow, and then I'm setting up for next week's content, which I'm gonna tell you right now is huge. I'm getting some early hands-on time with some of the biggest games releasing this year, so if you wanna see those previews and reviews, then don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ding that notification bell so you'll know when those videos are live. Thanks again for watching, and if you're interested in having a career in content creation, I really recommend sticking around to learn more about this week's sponsor, TubeBuddy. Okay, sponsor time. As I've mentioned, I'm always on the hunt for sponsors who can help you make a start in content creation. Since I love what I do, it's a dream gig, and if I can help other people reach their goal of becoming a content creator, then that's gonna make me really happy. This brings us to TubeBuddy. Now let's be clear. TubeBuddy is not some silver bullet hack that's going to guarantee your success, but it is the best collection of YouTube support tools I've ever seen or ever used, and if you do use this stuff correctly, it is going to help you on your content creation journey, whether it's just starting out or you're already on your way. TubeBuddy is a browser extension and mobile app that integrates directly into YouTube to help you run your channel with ease. So, what can it do? Well, the feature I use most is Keyword Explorer. I can literally punch in any search term and TubeBuddy will feed me the most relevant keywords I should be using in my title, description, and tags to maximize the chances that the video surfaces in YouTube search. The Launchpad feature is excellent. I can enter a link for a video I've uploaded and TubeBuddy will check the video to ensure I've done every possible thing I can to give the video the best chance of success. Stuff like complete tagging, or social media sharing, or adding it to a playlist, which is something I often forget to do. The A/B split testing is its most advanced and unique feature. This is something that YouTube creators have been asking for a long time, and it basically allows me to experiment with different thumbnails and titles and compare which ones are going to get a better click-through. This is just a small number of the features, there's heaps more, and almost all of them are going to help make managing content much easier. More than anything else though, TubeBuddy just gives you that confidence to know that you've done everything you can to give your content the best chance of success, and that's always a really nice feeling. TubeBuddy is free to download and set up, but if you really want to get stuck into it, then you can use offer code SKILLBuddy20 at checkout for a 20% discount. Thanks TubeBuddy for sponsoring the video, and thank you for watching it. Thanks for watching my video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down so I know to do better for next time. If you enjoyed yourself, consider subscribing, and if you really enjoyed yourself, maybe consider hitting that notification bell so you never miss a video. You can see my patrons here on the left. They're awesome. They're amazing. If you want to join them, check out my Patreon page. Thank you again. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.